This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Staying up all night, living like you're in a space in my head. I spent all this time talking to myself, debating if I'm dead, and I don't wanna be. I love to say I'm going out tonight, like you. Cause I've been moving on. But I tell you right now, I guess I got a bad feeling. I'm avoiding right now. I wonder if I had a reason. I was settled down, yeah, they tell me what you said about it, and I haven't decided quite yet whether I believe it. But I guess I got a bad feeling that you better know, that you better know.
The following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. I know it. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who exactly the listeners are. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
It's kind of interesting how it's already November the 15th of 2024 and it's day 320th, so it means it's 46 days, man. 46 days left before the end of this shit show. Yeah, are you excited? I mean, I don't know. I kind of take a look at this and I go, where has the time gone? It's like, it's amazing that we are already, I mean, you could essentially say that we're at the end of the year. I mean, you could say that. I mean, one can argue that point. I mean, we can argue slowly, but let's argue the point that it's almost the end of the year. Scary stuff when you start talking about it. Anyways, our show is a show that is based on a radio show that is also part of a podcast network that's also part of a video sequence. So we talk about safety in the news and safety. That's kind of what we do as we go through the whole thing. But let me tell you what we do on Fridays. Friday, we get to play catch up. So we don't get to play with catch up, but we get to play catch up because of all the things that we didn't get to do earlier in the week. Yeah, that's how it goes. So with that being said, what we will do is we will grab all the news stories that we have and kind of try to give them all to you that we didn't get to earlier in the week. And then we'll kind of, do our thing. And then you get to come in, hang out with us, do some stuff. You get to go to callinradio.com if you're so inclined to do so. And then once you get there, video, audio, and text messaging is readily available on doing some things, no doubt about that. So that's some stuff to talk about as we are going through the whole sequence of events. So that's video, audio, and text messaging, callinradio.com. I'll tell you, the text messaging portion is the best piece because that's the one I look at. So there you go, some stuff to talk about. So a lot of stuff. I got up super ass early today in regards of a couple of different things. Number one, I realized that I need to get you the mini episode, which, the mini episode, I recorded it earlier, which I normally don't do. I normally do it post this show. But for some reason, I'm interested in this boxing match tonight, and I don't know why I got up early, because if anything, I should have stayed up. I should have slept later in to stay up later tonight, and not that 8 o'clock in the evening is late, but keep in mind that main event probably won't happen until like 11 or so is what I'm going to make the assumption on, so we'll go from there. So, a lot of stuff going on as we are talking. So anyways, with that being said, by the way, if you don't know what boxing main event, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fighting tonight on Netflix. It was delayed, I believe, from July the 20th. So it is happening tonight out of Arlington. You know, it's happening at Cowboy Stadium. So, yeah, I mean, they have quite a few seats, I would imagine, in regards. I don't know if it's sold out or anything, so I'm not going to make some assumptions here, but I'm just saying in general. So anyways, with that being said, why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnight, because I think that that's going to be important for some people. So let's do that right now.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I take a look at the trends of the ends, Tesla stock slides on transition news, and another bear attacks makes headlines. We'll talk about that. Lindsey Vonn returns to skiing, and Eva Longoria is happy to be out of America. What? Happy to be out of America. Okay, so there you go. And Hoda's replacement has been announced. We'll talk about that. And King Charles attends Gladiator 2. Yeah, Gladiator 2 premiere. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. So if you are ready, I have some professional broadcasters, newscasters is really what it is, that are waiting in the wing to talk to you. And they want to tell you what the hell's going on. They're from Feature Story News. They're going to give you all of the sequence of events of what's going on inside of the news stories. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We can get it all started right now. So let's do that.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President-elect Donald Trump is tapping anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. RFK was a former presidential candidate before dropping out and endorsing Trump. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
It's another seemingly incongruous pick that's already raising eyebrows in specialist circles. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being offered the top job at the agency that oversees health and food policy. RFK is a known vaccine skeptic and has pushed health-related conspiracy theories online. He's amplified debunked claims that vaccines cause autism and accused Biden administration health officials of conspiring with tech moguls to sell COVID-19 vaccines. Trump promised RFK he could go wild with health policy, saying he's going to make America healthy again. But like some of Trump's other picks, like Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence, Kennedy could face tough questions at his eventual confirmation hearing. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
The UK says it will unwind some post-financial crash regulation on the banking sector. Finance Minister Rachel Reeves says some of the rules that came out of the global crisis in 2008 have stifled growth. She says it shouldn't be taken for granted that London can remain a global financial centre.
The UK has been regulating for risk, but not regulating for growth. So while maintaining important consumer protections, upholding international standards of regulation and protecting the vital stability of our financial services system, now is also the moment to rebalance our approach.
Sri Lanka's president is on course for a victory in snap parliamentary elections, according to early results. President Anura Kumara Disanayake's coalition is promising to fight corruption and restore stability after a devastating economic crisis. In the last 4 years, the number of people living below the poverty line in Sri Lanka has risen to 25.9%. The Pentagon says it's received hundreds of reports of new UFO sightings, while Defense Department officials say there hasn't been any evidence of alien activity. There are a number of cases for which there's currently no explanation. Ira Spitzer reports.
U.S. officials say there were 757 reports of unidentified flying objects for the yearly period that ended last June. In recent years, the Pentagon has expanded its efforts to track and investigate those reports, especially since many occur near military and security facilities. While most of those cases end up being common items like birds or drones, there are currently 21 cases that have yet to be plausibly explained. However, despite those mysteries, the head of the office says there's been no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial beings' activity or technology.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking in more detail today at Elon Musk's role in the planned government of President-elect Donald Trump. Together with businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, the Tesla and SpaceX owner has been appointed to something called the Department of Government Efficiency, which is a government agency that doesn't even exist yet and can only be created at cabinet level by an act of Congress. Karoom Basra is the Deputy Director of Unchecked UK, which campaigns for business regulation.
I think what we are concerned about, and what I'm particularly concerned about, is a conflict of interest arising where Musk is able to sort of set the rules for himself in the game that he's playing. So we know that the companies that Musk runs, Tesla, SpaceX, and X itself, have been subject to multiple violations kind of when it comes to workplace safety, pay, environmental protections, and we now have the chief executive of those companies set to be in charge of protecting Americans. I think it's a real issue.
It is, however, very unclear what resources and powers Mr. Musk will have to shrink the size of government in the United States, but there's no doubt that after contributing $119 million of his own money to a political action committee supporting Donald Trump's campaign, he is enjoying an outsized influence around the transition table at Mar-a-Lago. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President-elect Donald Trump is tapping anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The UK says it will unwind some post-financial crash regulation on the banking sector. Sri Lanka's president is on course for a victory in snap parliamentary elections, according to early results. And the Pentagon says it's received hundreds of reports of new UFO sightings. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Always replicated, but never duplicated. Rated R Safety Show.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Magical indeed. 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Friday. So let's go ahead and take a listen and a luxa of what the hell's going on inside of the sequence of the news. Tesla stocks tumbled about 5% on Thursday on news that Biden-era EV tax credits would be rolled back in the second Trump administration. Current tax laws allow $7,500 tax credit for those who buy an EV. Insiders working on the transition energy policy leaked to Reuters that this government expense would be on the top of the chopping block. Tesla stock remains about 15% up since the election and 25% up from the start of the year, according to Yahoo Finance. Speaking on Elon World, the official Department of Government Efficiency X account is soliciting resumes from people committed to downsizing government, and there's an open application process for super high IQ small government revolutionaries willing to work 80 hours a week on unglamorous cost cutting. Yeah, 80 hours plus a week. Think about that for a moment. So double the normal workload for most people on cost-cutting measures. And what are they going to pay you? I mean, that's going to be that would be the other question that I would have. What are they going to pay you exactly? So with that being said, the top 1% of people who submit their resumes will be passed along to Elon Musk and Vivek. So there you go. The top 1%. I mean, I think that gets pretty interesting. I mean, 80 hours plus. What the fuck are you going to do in your life? I mean, seriously, I'm sorry to put it that way, but man, it's kind of crazy. 80 hours plus. I mean, I guess if you love what you do, it's really not working, but 80 hours plus a week. Okay, cool. Okay, if you're looking to stay this weekend at for some kind of me time, UK Hair Care has sponsored research to map out the perfect plan. Start by getting home at 5:30 p.m. and then take a 19-minute shower. By 6:42, you should be ready to kick your feet up and on the couch and have nothing else to do. 2/3 of respondents said that they're comfortable at home. 53% say that staying in home is more peaceful than going out. Well, no crap. And 55% have no uninvited guests stop by during their downtime. And other favorite activities include binging a TV show, baking sometimes, indulgent trying a new recipe, and knitting. This is according to the New York Post. Hold on. For your downtime, like seriously, for your downtime, you're telling me that you want to knit. Like knitting? Like knitting? Like that is, that's your gig? Okay.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
What? Everybody needs to do their own thing. I was just trying to figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to give you an update from a little story that we were doing yesterday, just in case if you paying close attention. Online betting market Poly Market is under investigation for illegally allowing American-based users to place bets on its platform just 2 years after the company paid $1.4 million fine to agree to stop such bets. CEO Shane Copland believes that the investigation is politically motivated and said on X that Poly Market is deeply committed to being nonpartisan. Regulators in France launched their own investigation to Poly Market about a month ago after one foreign gambler won $28 million on bets placed on the election. This is according to ABC News. So I just want to make sure that I'm following here. Are you not allowed to bet on the election? Like, do you have like some insider stuff that you think that something was going to change? I'm just wondering here because it gets weird. I mean, a lot of stuff in life gets weird, but that gets even weirder than what the normal weird is. I mean, just think about this. So now there's an issue that, you voted on the election cycle. That gets kind of strange when it's all said and done.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about this. All vegetables matter, but did you know that one outranks the rest when it comes to nutrient powerhouse? Well, according to the CDC, ranking powerhouse fruits and vegetables, watercress is the most nutrient-dense vegetable, receiving the perfect 100 score. Yeah, perfect 100 score. Coming in second with a score of 91.99 is Chinese cabbage, followed by chard, 89.27, beet green, 87.08, and spinach with 86.43. This is according to the CDC, so there you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you look for in the perfect vegetable and fruit. I mean, I kind of look at those things and what does it look like do you have the pill format? I'm just saying that's the way that I lean with that. So there you go. Anyways, another day, another bogus bear attack, but this time no one died. 4 suspects in California are under investigation for making insurance claims on their cars that they say were damaged by a bear that got inside and tore up the seats and door panels. 4 claims were filed in January 28th this year in the same location. The suspects even included video footage to prove their claim were legitimate. But wait, a more careful review of the video revealed the bear was actually a person in a bear costume. A California Department of Fish and Wildlife official told investigators that the animal was clearly a human in a bear suit. The claim amounted to more than $140,000 for 4 high-end vehicles, including a 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost and 2 Mercedes. The phony claimants and their friends with the bear costume have all been arrested and charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy. This is according to CBS Los Angeles. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy when you start thinking about it. In regards to this, I mean, and there is a picture of the bear suit online, and it's kind of weak. I mean, it's weak. I mean, if you see, I mean, I don't have the video itself of what they're doing, but geez, man, this bear suit is terrible, I tell you, in regards to what's going on. So there you go. Let's talk about some other stuff that is going on. The Dow lost about 207 points to close at 43,750 on Thursday. The S&P lost about 36 points to close at 5,949. And the NASDAQ lost about 123 points to close at 19,100. $107. West Texas Intermediate closed at $68 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $72 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.08 on Thursday, and Bitcoin tumbled on Thursday, down about 3%. That's nearly $3K in value to trade, around $87,500. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $387 million jackpot, or $181.4 million cash payout. Saturday night's Powerball drawing will be for $130 million jackpot, or a $61.4 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. So there you go. Let's talk about some other things that are going on right now. Lindsey Vohn's retirement is over after 6 years. The three-time Olympic medalist announced her plans to rejoin the U.S. ski team. The next Winter Olympics are in Italy in February of 2026. This is according to ESPN. So are you excited about this, or do you not care, or what is going on? I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's that exciting. Let's calm it down here. I mean, no doubt there. So there you go. Some stuff there. So ahead of tonight fight against Mike Tyson, YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul purchased a pair of blinged out ear coverings, a clear jab at his opponent's infamous 1997 ear biting incident. According to insiders, the ear covering cost about $100,000 each. The fight will stream live tonight on Netflix. I have to sit back for a moment here. And I don't know, and don't take this the wrong way when I say this, but I am a pretty big MMA aficionado, and I'm talking about mixed martial arts here. And some people will go, "Oh, you mean UFC?" Well, UFC is a brand inside of there, probably the biggest one out of all of them. But there's a fight going on tomorrow in the UFC. Supposedly the greatest of all time. People refer to him as John Jones, fighting Stipe Miocic, who's supposed to be the greatest heavyweight fighter in the UFC because of how many title defenses he has or had in the past. And I will tell you, I think I've heard more about this Mike Tyson boxing match than what I have about this UFC fight. And the UFC fight is supposed to be with the greatest of all time. It's kind of confusing. So I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty interesting when it's all said and done. So take a listen to this. Eva Longoria is reflecting on her family's decision to leave America, telling Marie Claire how privileged she feels to be able to get out. Most Americans aren't so lucky. They're going back. They're going to be stuck in this dystopian country, and my anxiety and sadness is for them, she explained. Longoria noticed that homelessness and taxes and Donald Trump's re-election are her reasons for moving. Does it say where she's moving? I mean, I have a guess, but does it say where she's moving? Where is she moving? I mean, I guess if we're going to get some news stories, we should probably talk about what the hell's going on real quick. The reason that Eva is still so relevant is that she won't take no for an answer, according to George Clooney. I don't know. Some stuff there, so I don't have where she's going. But I'm going to assume, based on some of the shows that she's been doing lately, is that she's probably moving back to Mexico, is what my assumption's going to be there. But it's a really long article. I didn't realize how long that thing was. Yeah, there's no way that I'll be able to recap it so quick to say this is where she's going. So there you go. So what do you think? I mean, here's my question. And I know that people get all hung up about politics all the time, and it's okay, because that's what happens. But if you're going to leave, and you're going to leave the country because you're not happy with one person who is elected into office, should you make a big hoopla about it or just do something? Like, listen, if the moment that I get up and decide to leave and I say, hey, I'm leaving the country, it's because that's what I'm doing. I'm just leaving. And that's a choice. But do you have to kind of make that big ordeal about it of, oh, yes, I need you to know that I'm leaving? I mean, I don't know. It gets weird. And I always think about the same thing. You probably need to be more concerned about what's going on inside of your house than what's going on in the White House. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there for conversation purposes, because I think you need to give that some consideration as we are talking. So after giving up chewing tobacco and nicotine lozenges, Josh Brolin says that he is the new vice is nicotine pouches. 24 hours later, he revealed this week on the WTF podcast, Brolin shared his struggles with addiction in his new memoir, From Under the Truck, explaining that he switched from lozenges to pouches after experiencing some bad side effects. This is according to People magazine. So there you go. I don't know. Yeah, I probably need to share this with you. I think it's kind of interesting. I recently had a nicotine company reach out and talk about that they were trying to do some advertising here. And I never really officially agreed. I said that I would listen to the initial pitch of what they had to say. And they took it like I was running with it. And all of a sudden they send me this ad that they wanted me to read. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And I turned around and declined it. And all of a sudden now their salespeople are losing their shit because they're like, why did you turn this down? Well, I'm gonna throw this out there. If you ever have someone in your family pass away due to cancer and they smoked a lot, you're probably going to put some things into a lot of different thought processes before you decide to advertise anything that has nicotine in it. And that's even if it's a path that you want to go down. I know, but that's my thought process on the whole thing. You know, I'm not saying that the nicotine causes it, but I'm just letting you know my thought process. When I go to Canada, I'm always amazed on all the stuff that's covered on how tobacco is labeled there and some of the terrible things that are listed on there. And supposedly, you know, it's all because it actually does occur.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Why do I have to be an idiot, man? I mean, let's not take it that personal. Anyway, so we are close enough to that thing that we do around this time that we call the main story, but on Freeform Friday, not something we do. But what we like to do on Freeform Friday is give you as much news as possible. That way you stay relevant with what the hell's going on. Take a listen.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President-elect Donald Trump is tapping anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. RFK was a former presidential candidate before dropping out and endorsing Trump. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
It's another seemingly incongruous pick that's already raising eyebrows in specialist circles. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being offered the top job at the agency that oversees health and food policy. RFK is a known vaccine skeptic and has pushed health-related conspiracy theories online. He's amplified debunked claims that vaccines cause autism and accused Biden administration health officials of conspiring with tech moguls to sell COVID-19 vaccines. Trump promised RFK he could go wild with health policy, saying he's going to make America healthy again. But like some of Trump's other picks, like Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence, Kennedy could face tough questions at his eventual confirmation hearing. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
The UK says it will unwind some post-financial crash regulation on the banking sector. Finance Minister Rachel Reeves says some of the rules that came out of the global crisis in 2008 have stifled growth. She says it shouldn't be taken for granted that London can remain a global financial centre.
The UK has been regulating for risk, but not regulating for growth. So while maintaining important consumer protections, upholding international standards of regulation and protecting the vital stability of our financial services system, now is also the moment to rebalance our approach.
Sri Lanka's president is on course for a victory in snap parliamentary elections, according to early results. President Anura Kumara Dissanayaka's coalition is promising to fight corruption and restore stability after a devastating economic crisis. In the last 4 years, the number of people living below the poverty line in Sri Lanka has risen to 25.9%. The Pentagon says it's received hundreds of reports of new UFO sightings, while Defense Department officials say there hasn't been any evidence of alien activity. There are a number of cases for which there's currently no explanation. Ira Spitzer reports.
U.S. officials say there were 757 reports of unidentified flying objects for the yearly period that ended last June. In recent years, the Pentagon has expanded its efforts to track and investigate those reports, especially since many occur near military and security facilities. While most of those cases end up being common items like birds or drones, there are currently 21 cases that have yet to be plausibly explained. However, despite those mysteries, the head of the office says there's been no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial beings, activity, or technology.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking in more detail today at Elon Musk's role in the planned government of President-elect Donald Trump. Together with businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, the Tesla and SpaceX owner has been appointed to something called the Department of Government Efficiency, which is a government agency that doesn't even exist yet and can only be created at cabinet level by an act of Congress. Karoom Basra is the Deputy Director of Unchecked UK, which campaigns for business regulation.
I think what we are concerned about, and what I'm particularly concerned about, is a conflict of interest arising where Musk is able to sort of set the rules for himself in the game that he's playing. So we know that the companies that Musk runs, Tesla, SpaceX, and X itself, have been subject to multiple violations kind of when it comes to workplace safety, pay, environmental protections, and we now have the chief executive of those companies set to be in charge of protecting Americans. I think it's a real issue.
It is, however, very unclear what resources and powers Mr. Musk will have to shrink the size of government in the United States, but there's no doubt that after contributing $119 million of his own money to a political action committee supporting Donald Trump's campaign, he is enjoying an outsized influence around the transition table at Mar-a-Lago. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President-elect Donald Trump is tapping anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The UK says it will unwind some post-financial crash regulation on the banking sector. Sri Lanka's president is on course for a victory in snap parliamentary elections, according to early results. And the Pentagon says it's received hundreds of reports of new UFO sightings. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Pop quiz, hotshot. During a heat wave, what's more important, air conditioning or air guitar?
Is it air conditioning?
Air guitar. The answer is always air guitar.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
What do guys like besides pizza and morning sex?
Jay Allen in the morning.
It's so bizarre and unnatural.
It's all good. On Radio Big.
Maybe you with your brand new crush, you play too much with this. She said this, he said that. Don't worry about that. All I know is I was up all night, said too much and it was all my fault. As I'm tall and I'm alone.
Okay, here we are, Rated R Safety Show. 44 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out doing our thing. Yeah, hopefully you're having a fun time as we are hanging out this morning. This song right here, Bad Feeling by Logan Prescott. Readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. We would like to thank Logan Prescott for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about it whatsoever. There you go. Up all night. So there you go. Let's get into the move and the groove of the things that we have going on this lovely Friday. No doubt there. So let's talk about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's no matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. To write Love on Her Arms wants you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, information will come up about 24-hour helplines that are available for you, even immediate resources. Not limited to these, but there's more things on there to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, griefs of work, just to name a few things that's listed. So once you get there, TWLOHA.com and go all the way to the far right-hand side, okay? So there you go, TWLOHA.com, to write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. A lot of information, a lot of good stuff on their website once you get there to take a gander-ander at it, no doubt about that. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue talking a little bit more about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So if you are a moviegoer, today might be a big day for you. Red One, yeah. After villains kidnap Santa from the North Pole, an elf, ELF, extremely large and formidable operative, must partner with the world's most accomplished tracker to find Santa and save Christmas. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and Lucy Liu. Is that Lucy Liu? Yeah. Okay, so that comes out today. And Back in Action is another one that comes out today. Former CIA spies Emily and Matt are pulled back into espionage after their secret identities are exposed. That comes out today. That's Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. I think that's the Jamie Foxx movie where he suffered some kind of health scare that they had to put on pause for a period of time. So just some info there if you are looking for some new movies. Okay, so other things to talk to you about. It's like being hangry, but for tired people, and we all do it. When we feel mentally drained, it's only natural to get meaner and more hostile. Yeah, meaner and more hostile, according to a new study. Scientists from IMT, yes, not to be confused with MIT, School for Advanced Studies, Lucca in Italy, determined that making several difficult decisions at once can wear down the brain in areas responsible for self-control. That essentially puts those areas of the brain to sleep, leading to aggressive or impulsive behaviors. The team found that spending just 45 minutes on executive function tasks like making plans and solving problems increases the likelihood that you'll engage in aggressive acts in social situations. Just 45 minutes of making plans and solving problems makes you grouchy. Moms of toddlers who remain cheery, I have a whole new appreciation for the great work that you do. Yeah, I'm not going to lie there. And I see that based on this, I'd say that the boss around here is either always tired or always mean. I mean, one can never make up the determination on which one it is. So think about that for a moment as we are talking. Yep. So there you go. By the way, did you hear the Sexiest Man Alive list came out? So take a listen to this. I'm sure that you heard by now about 2,000 times that John Krasinski has been named People's Magazine Sexiest Man Alive for 2024, and some for sure think that he is. But if you look at the People Online Readers Poll, Krasnowski isn't anywhere to be found. Here is the real sexiest man alive, according to people who read People. Sexiest handyman, Chip Gaines. Sexiest long married star, Tim McGraw. Gen X sexiest, Shamar Moore. Sexiest summer action star, Glenn Powell. Sexiest talk show host, Mark Consuelo's makes Brat look sexy, Joe Jonas. Sexiest tattoos, Jeremy Allen White. Sexiest man heartthrob, Jacob Elordi. Sexiest musician, Harry Styles. Sexiest first-time dad, Robert Pattinson. Sexiest podcast host, the Kels brothers. Sexier than Rogan, huh? I mean, it says that there. And sexiest TikToker is Mark Estes. So there you go. If you're looking for some sexy time, I guess that's where you got. Anyways, let's go ahead and bring in some John Smalls, because I don't think he's going to talk about anything sexy. I just think he's going to talk about what's going on with the Motivation Minute. Let's do that.
The Motivation Minute, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's story was submitted by Connor. Kurt Vonnegut said, I once told my wife I was going out to buy an envelope. She said, go online and buy 100 envelopes and put them in the closet. So I pretended not to hear her. And I went out to get an envelope because I have a good time in the process. I meet a lot of people, and I see some great-looking babies, and a fire engine goes by, and I give them the thumbs up. And I'll ask a woman, what kind of dog is that? And I don't know. What the computer people don't realize, or they don't care, is we're dancing animals. You know, we love to move around. And it's like we're not supposed to dance at all anymore. Let's all get up and move around a little bit. Or at least dance.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. While it is important to learn from others, we must never try to be someone we are not. If David had tried to be Saul, he would have failed miserably. Instead of trying to be something he wasn't, David remained true to himself, and as a result, the Lord delivered Goliath into his hand. Are you being true to who God has made you, or are you trying to be someone else? 1 Samuel 17 said, So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine. Lord, our sling and our stones may not be impressive, but they are the weapons you gave us. Help us remain true to who you have made us to be. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Radio R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President-elect Donald Trump is tapping anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. RFK was a former presidential candidate before dropping out and endorsing Trump. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
It's another seemingly incongruous pick that's already raising eyebrows in specialist circles. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being offered the top job at the agency that oversees health and food policy. RFK is a known vaccine skeptic and has pushed health-related conspiracy theories online. He's amplified debunked claims that vaccines cause autism and accused Biden administration health officials of conspiring with tech moguls to sell COVID-19 vaccines. Trump promised RFK he could go wild with health policy, saying he's going to make America healthy again. But like some of Trump's other picks, like Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence, Kennedy could face tough questions at his eventual confirmation hearing. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
The UK says it will unwind some post-financial crash regulation on the banking sector. Finance Minister Rachel Reeves says some of the rules that came out of the global crisis in 2008 have stifled growth. She says it shouldn't be taken for granted that London can remain a global financial centre.
The UK has been regulating for risk, but not regulating for growth. So while maintaining important consumer protections, upholding international standards of regulation and protecting the vital stability of our financial services system, now is also the moment to rebalance our approach.
Sri Lanka's president is on course for a victory in snap parliamentary elections, according to early results. President Anura Kumara Disanayake's coalition is promising to fight corruption and restore stability after a devastating economic crisis. In the last 4 years, the number of people living below the poverty line in Sri Lanka has risen to 25.9%. The Pentagon says it's received hundreds of reports of new UFO sightings, while Defense Department officials say there hasn't been any evidence of alien activity. There are a number of cases for which there's currently no explanation. Ira Spitzer reports.
U.S. officials say there were 757 reports of unidentified flying objects for the yearly period that ended last June. In recent years, the Pentagon has expanded its efforts to track and investigate those reports, especially since many occur near military and security facilities. While most of those cases end up being common items like birds or drones, there are currently 21 cases that have yet to be plausibly explained. However, despite those mysteries, the head of the office says there's been no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial beings, activity, or technology.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some things that happened back on this day. So there you go. Back in 1990, the National Assembly of Bulgaria reestablishes the country as a free state. The body changed the name for the People's Republic of Bulgaria to the Republic of Bulgaria. It also voted to undo the Bulgarian Communist Party logo from the country's flag. So there you go. That happened back in 1990. What else do we got for you? Let's see some birthdays that are going on today. Sadie Stanley turns 23. Carl Anthony Towns turns 29. Bob, B-O-B, the rapper, turns 36 today. Sean Murray turns 47. Chad Kroger turns 50. E40 turns 57. Bob Gutton turns 79. So if you're looking at some birthdays for today, there you go. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, here you go. National Drummer Day, National Recycling Day, National Bundit Day, National Camp T-Shirt Day, Steve Irwin Day, I Love to Write Day, National Philanthropy Day, National Raisin Bran Cereal Day, and National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. So there you go, some days to celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. If you need a random joke for today, I have one of those for you, because why would I not have that? I had the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability. Yeah, think about that. Okay, if you need a question for the water cooler, it's not yet. I have a phone starter for you first. If you could shop for free at one store, which one would you choose? I didn't say car dealership. I said store. Okay, so there you go. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. Almost half of the people surveyed said that they would live with this for the rest of their life. If it meant they could have $1 billion, what is it? Hiccups. They would live with hiccups for the rest of their life for the chance of having $1 billion. So there you go. Duh. So some stuff to do, I guess. So there you go. That's going to sum up our time together. Thanks for hanging out with me on this lovely, lovely Friday. So at the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out. If you don't, that's fine. You can stay on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus, where he will be talking about the world of safety consulting, because that's what he does. So there you go. Top of the hour, music and entertainment on Radio Big. If not, safety consulting here on Safety FM. So some options are available to you. So there you go. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. A friend may be waiting behind a stranger's face. Think about that, because it might take you places you've never been. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
He said that, don't worry about that. All I know is I was up all night, said